Faces, some new faces, and learn about some updates ahead of the 2025 season. I'm going to call up our staff panel for tonight, and we'll give them a little bit of energy on each introduction. Let's welcome up Alex Magleby, co-founder, CEO of the Freejack. Next up, we've got back-to-back MLR champion, general manager, the man who pulls the strings, Mr. Tom Conley. Give him a round of applause. Here he is. Now, next up, we've got the best-looking player in MLR, but also the best player in MLR. Wayne Vanderbeek, come on up. Here he is. He's been waiting for that compliment for a few years, so next up, gives me great pleasure to introduce one of our new faces to the Freejack. He was one of our first draft picks this year, Kai Pono Kayoshi, all the way, making his independence debut this season. And there seems to be one more guy that has just gone missing. I don't know where he is, but he wants the grand reveal. Let's welcome up your head coach returning for 2025, Ryan Martin, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, Ryan. Now, as you can see on the screen behind you, and you would have noticed on the pocket schedules situated around the tables, we have some pretty awesome festivals lined up for 2025 in true Freejacks fashion, and they all come from that creative energy that is floating around inside Mag's head, and that is going to be talked about right now, your Freejacks festivals for 2025. Alex Magleby.
Thank you, Wills. Big shout out to Widowmaker for hosting us tonight. Big thank you to all for finding a way to be here in the holidays and the crazy, and making your way to celebrate what's been an awesome year, and looking forward to an awesome year ahead, and just getting together. We've just been so giddy to actually get back together. It's awesome. So thank you for being here. You know, we're pretty lucky with our sport in general. It's got a value system that we all really, really appreciate. And our job is to make sure that we're bringing that to as many people as we possibly can. And we're very fortunate every day to wake up, because we're in the business of joy. And that's what we get to do. We get to share joy. And so the best way we can possibly do that is figure out ways to bring the experience of rugby and the Freejacks to more people. So, you know, we certainly try to build themes into every one of our games that may attract a new audience, but more importantly for us, our audience, this group, and our friends who aren't here, making sure it's an awesome place that you want to hang out and be and have fun and just celebrate life. And so we build awesome themes, we hope, and that's what we endeavor to do every year. So for this year, we're super excited. Of course, we're starting on St. Patty's. That's a massive shout out to the heritage of this area. It's always a great game for us. And then we got to move into pretty quickly, a couple weeks later. We've already been on the road for a few weeks into Après Rugby. And that's just an awesome opportunity. A few years ago, you know, somebody brought a pair of skis and skied down the hill. They're not supposed to do that, but that's kind of awesome. Super fun. And then we built from there. The next weekend, it'll be our first time that we're having a golf theme. It's also our Golden Oldies weekend for the gentlemen and ladies in this room who want to throw on the boots again, or for the first time, and you're over 35. That'll be that weekend, which will be super fun. We're going to have a portable golf course set up. So that'll be an awesome day out. And then we go from there. The schedule's a bit weird this year. We're trapped in between kind of the week after Super Bowl and the international window to kind of get everything through. So the league has thrown this midweek game at us, but we're excited to try it out and make it work. It'll be awesome. So that's the Team Spirit Week. game for us is really an opportunity. We're going to run a massive touch tournament where everybody in this room hopefully is figuring out a way to participate. And you're bringing your colleagues to the sport for the first time, and your buddies at work, and you're going to bring a team in, and we'll learn rugby for the first time, and we'll generate some revenue for the Free Jacks Foundation, and that's that team spirit night. And then pretty quickly we're going into mixtape, which was an awesome time last year. We all got to really relive some nostalgia that was really important. It was amazing. And then from there we're going in, it's a Quincy 400, and that's awesome. We've been pretty lucky the support we've had from the city of Quincy and the people of Quincy. It's been a great home for everybody who's involved in the Free Jacks movement to come and be a part of that fulcrum. And so we're really excited to celebrate the City of Presidents that day. And that's the day before Mother's Day. And so it'd be awesome to really celebrate the mothers in this world too. It'd be fantastic. And then we're honored on Memorial Weekend to celebrate tribute to troops. That's really important for us. And then we very quickly go into Camp Free Jack, which was an awesome experience last year. We had a massive flag tournament for kids. And teams came throughout New England. There was 150 kids on that field playing. And this year that'll be more than doubled as we continue to grow. And Wheels does this amazing job. And the community team building out the Junior Jacks leagues. And it's awesome that we get to kind of share that with everybody here on that day. And then hopefully we can do an away game, and hopefully we got a playoff on Father's Day. And we can build into there to a championship. So that's it. It's good.
How Nags remembered all of that off the top of his head is pretty impressive. So let's give him another round of applause. That was very good. Awesome, Mr. Tom Kindly. It's become like clockwork for you now. Another MLR off-season almost in the books. And I think what's really exciting about this off-season is some of the signings that we've announced to come back and pull on the Free Jacks jersey, but also the retention rate of the squad. Tell me about how you're really tracking with this Free Jacks roster for 2025 and what these fans have to look forward to.
Alrighty. Thanks, first of all, thanks everyone for coming out. It's been amazing seeing so many faces we recognise and some faces that we don't recognise, which is awesome, and hopefully a testament to the fact that things are going really well within the organisation and all the work you guys are helping us to do. So first of all, I think we take the responsibility of representing our people in New England very seriously. One of the amazing things about our club is the fact that after the game you get to come onto the field, meet the players, interact with one another. Which is super awesome, and obviously better if we've won the game, eh? So, we really understand and appreciate the New England sports history and landscape that we're representing, and we take that really seriously. So that comes down to Ryan, Mags, myself, to make sure we do the best job possible to compile the most competitive team we can over the off-season. Like we was mentioned, we're lucky to have a huge amount of retention this year, so upwards of 70% of the squad in 2024 will be retained for the 25 season. So that holds us in really good stead. And then, we're doing some really innovative, awesome stuff. Currently, obviously, Coach Ryan Martin is leading our December winter camp alongside our awesome staff, the likes of Mike Bonapane, Colton Bennett, our analyst, returning from the championship management team last year, and heaps of retention within that management team too, which is really awesome. So they're working the playing group that we have here locally really hard, providing opportunities to our local playing group to put their hand up ahead of the 25 season, because we know it takes a squad of 40 to really have a good crack at it. Just a wee nod of the cap to all the good work going on to our management team and the playing group during this December. So again, just an honour to represent you guys. We're excited to get it going again for 2025. But heads down, thumbs up, just working hard at the moment.
As you would have known, Wayne Vanderbank here in the middle had a pretty awesome 2024 and been pretty privileged over the past few months to go all around New England with Wayne and take his skills and knowledge to our New England community, getting our junior jacks and our independents up to speed. But there was a wee tradition that I did for the start of each clinic, and it was just a little MVP chant. So here we go. MVP, 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 MVP. Keep your team. Awesome, Wayne. So as said, Wayne's been coaching in the off-season. There really hasn't been any rest for Mr. Vanderbank. He's been out there every Sunday working with our upcoming athletes, which I think is just so phenomenal. Yeah, there's one of them over there, Mr. Lucas and Annalisa floating around. I don't think you get that at many other MLR clubs. So Wayne, first of all for you, how have you enjoyed the off-season and your first sort of full year of coaching and doing something different?
Annalise and Lucas here. So, no, we're enjoying it. I think when I started working with you 2 years ago, I didn't know to coach. We just had to learn as we go.
Can you get the mic closer?
So yeah, we started 2 years ago with the wheels. Had no clue how to coach or to do any of it. We just went to the different RTGs and stuff, and we just gave the best product we could do. And I think it's been really successful so far. The growth over the 2 years, coaching in the off season has been actually phenomenal. Actually made me want to move into that direction maybe after rugby one day, especially in America with rugby grade as well. I think they definitely need more coaches as well. So that has inspired me to also maybe one day give back through that by coaching the younger generation. So yeah, we've gone all around England and coached different teams. So it's really amazing to see the enthusiasm by the players to play actually rugby. So we really enjoy that.
And one more for Wayne because he's extra special. Obviously 2024, we're pretty fortunate to get the MLR Shield again, and yourself from a personal perspective had a great year on the field. What was the highlight? I know it's probably the Shield. Is there any other moments that really stick out for you and can resonate with these fans?
I think against Houston, the game we won against them, they were on I think we win streak of 11 games if I'm correct. So they were obviously the team that's supposed to win that game, and the boys just decided no. I think for me that was a game that was a highlight for me because usually they were known as a team that physically dominates, and I think on that day the boys just went to a different level. So for me that was special to see like how a bunch of boys just decided no, we're going to just tackle everything that comes our way, and that game for me is a really good memory. That's why I play rugby, is the physicality and yeah, just that in general. So I think that for me was a special game. I think it was also a pretty good game for the fans to watch as well. I think we did put on a good score that day. Everything just clicked. The team just played well together. I think, like we always say, we're not a team of star players. We're just a team that plays together, and I think that has been our success. This year was just that. I think that again, just Houston specifically, they're a team with big players, and we just played as a team, and just put the pressure on them, and I think we came up with a good win.
Great job, mate.
Well spoken, Wayne, and we can't wait to see you back in action next year in the Free Jacks jerseys. So, Kai Pono, welcome to the panel, mate. First of all, I think a really special question for you. You received a call a few months ago from Mr. Tom Conley, to my right, that you've become a full-time professional rugby player. You've just finished your first week in a rugby environment as a professional. Tell me about it and what you've learned from this week. Let's give him a round of applause as well.
When I received the call from TK,
it was an honor. You know, you guys are back-to-back champions, and coming off my college career, I got a national championship this past year. So just building on that pedigree. This first week, it was great. I see a winning culture. The city behind us. It's no surprise we're back-to-back champions with a city like this. Just being a sponge, I'd say, is the biggest thing. And there's no egos with the group of guys. We're just in the business of learning and doing what no one on our team has done and go for that 3-peat.
Kai Pono will be making its debut for the Freejacks Academy against the Chicago Hounds on Sunday. His first time in the colours, so we wish him well. All the best, Pono. Awesome. And last but not at least, a little known fact about Mr. Martin, as I used to call him about 10 years ago. Ryan here was me and TK's high school teacher. So I'd get sent to the detention room a couple of times a week, but I also made his coffees for him each day, so that's why I'm here today. That's all good stuff. But Mr. Martin, I'm going to give you a bit of a double-sided question. Very familiar face to Freejacks fans, obviously the head coach in 2021, but you've been on a bit of a worldwide journey since then, from the Melbourne Rebels to Toyota Blitz, working with some pretty high-class players. What did you take out of that experience and you're going to bring to the table in 2025? It's a long one.
Thank you, Wills. It is great to be back. I flew in last Thursday and came over the city of Boston and landed in Logan, and it felt like coming home, which is pretty special. It is a kind of a circle journey for myself. 2021 was really special, and I'm really appreciative of what that team kind of set and how we worked as a group. We had a fantastic ownership group that had the foresight and the hindsight to move the group down to here into Quincy, which is fantastic, and establish a fan base and a community that really actually, it's more than the rugby. And I always had a little bit of FOMO when I was away. I knew it was going to go that way, but I wasn't good enough at the time, to be honest, as a head coach, and I knew I needed to grow. So I was lucky enough to get an opportunity with the Melbourne Rebels and work under some fantastic international coaches there. Dave Rennie was leading the Wallabies at the time, and I was lucky enough to use him as a mentor and grow myself as a coach. And then an opportunity at Toyota Blitz in Japan came up with Steve Hansen as our director of rugby. So that was a little bit of a no-brainer to work under, one of the 2 decades of excellence that he brought with the All Blacks, and to grow myself. So I took a little bit of a selfish route in terms of wanting to grow myself as a coach, and I definitely felt that the time was right to come back. And I think Scott Matthews he set such a high standard of what's expected of this program and this team, and you could look at it as a poison chalice to come back with back-to-back championships, but the way I've been brought up and the way I see things is that's me, that's a challenge, and we're going to do things that have never been done before, and we've kind of started that with our camp. We're setting a tone that no other team, MLR team currently is in a winter camp as such. We're working really hard at the moment to establish some winningness behaviours, and how do you do a 3-peat? We're kind of starting to really dig deep into what that looks like for us, and we're not scared of that. We're actually moving forward towards what a 3-peat is, and we're not going to deny that. We're going straight for it. And that's my personality, that's who I am, that's why I've come back. yeah, it's great to come back here and see Spider. He was one of my favourite supporters when I first had the team in 2021. Phil Harris, he's been a fantastic voice and promoter of the Free Jacks, and it's great to see people just growing in this environment as supporters as much as the players and the management. So what a special time to be part of the Free Jacks. I'm just really appreciative of where this organisation is at the moment. They gave me a real awesome leg up in the game. I went away and grown, come back, and you know, as I said, I'm not scared of the 3 people we're going through.
I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited after that speech. Okay, there are a lot of people here tonight, and you're getting in early. I like it for the Q&A. We're going to open the floor to some questions. We're here for you at the end of the day, and no doubt there's a couple of burning questions and how it works in the classroom. The first hand up gets to ask first, so Mr. Harris of the Jacks Rangers will bring the mic to you. Actually, you just yell it out. You can yell it out. Or not.
Hi. So there's a lot of anxiety about the schedule based on what happened last year, Mags. Is the schedule set?
That's what says one.
Yeah, the schedule is set. Yes.
Thank you.
You know, last year we went in December, and unfortunately there was a change in the number of teams, and so everybody adjusted as quickly as we possibly could. Those things are going to happen as we grow as a league, and there's going to be changes inevitably. We're all in a good space. The league is in a good space right now to continue to grow. And this year, that schedule is set as far as we know. And there could be something catastrophic. We ran into a pandemic in 2020. Nothing that I can't promise won't happen, but as in terms of the things that the league can control and we can control, this is the schedule. There's one caveat to that. The LA game, the first round, originally is set for Sunday at 6-5. That game may be adjusted slightly based on their stadium issues that they're managing. But in terms of the schedule, this is what we got.
Thank you.
We can, we can just have the questions yelled out. Have we got one? Yep, Bill, down the back.
Like Kyle cutting his hair off. Sorry. TK, will you ever shave your beard for us?
Bill, first of all, thanks for referring to it as a beard. I'm not sure it actually counts. Yeah, if we find a good cause, 100%, I'm sure we can do a big team shave for, you know, one of our many good causes. Good question.
Well played, TK.
That's brilliant. Oh, yeah.
So this is a fan experience question. We notice when we're watching the matches, away matches on Rugby Network, they'll put up on the screen, like when there's a penalty called, what the penalty is. But when we're sitting in the stands at Fort Quincy, they just say penalty awarded to whoever, and they don't tell you what it is. So what do we need to do to like maybe just get it up on the scoreboard and see, you know, sometimes when it's right in front of you, you can see it, but when you're like on the opposite end of the field, it's really hard to tell. You know, did they join them all from the side? Did they, you know, was it a failure to release? What's the penalty? So how can we maybe fix that just to help it for the fan experience?
Great question.
Yeah, we're learning as we go, and we got this great video board, and learning how best to operate it and use it is a work in progress, and completely understand the frustration when that happens. Before we get to games, we should be doing a better job perhaps educating on what the ref signals are, and then making opportunities available during the match by which things happen and it's clearly communicated over the PA and the video. Those things have been recognized by the internal team as needing improvement. So it's a work in progress, for sure, but I completely appreciate it. Offsides!
Sweet. Hey, I don't need the microphone. Hey, so obviously we're all here to support you because we love you. We love you players, we love the coaches, we love the administration.
How do we better support the Free Jacks just as members? What do we need to do to help you grow?
I love that, and I think, our players are the asset, and they're amazing, and the support that is given by a lot of people in this room to that group is fantastic, and something that doesn't happen in most other places, most other sports entertainment setups, let alone across the MLR. So that's huge. You guys already do an amazing amount. Showing up to games, bringing your friends. But this whole thing works. We talk about trying to grow this as a ecosystem. I had the luxury last week of being down at Gillette Stadium as we work on the bid for Boston being a host city for the 2031 Men's World Cup and the 2033 Women's World Cup. That is a work in progress. But because of the work that I think a lot of people in this room are doing, both in terms of the sports entertainment side of the business, but more importantly, the sharing the game of rugby with more people, I think are two very, very important pieces, and that puts us in a great position for those bids, right? But this all happens because you're here. And the more engagement we have, and the more here we have, and the more opportunities like this we have, the better this thing happens. And the bigger the ecosystem becomes, and the stronger it becomes, which is really, really important. We've got some great partners in terms of sponsors. That really helps the bottom line work, so we can try to continue to invest in this. For every dollar that comes in, we're giving 2 out to build the fandom, right? And so things like if you're deciding to go on a trip and you decide to go on a Delta because of your connection to the Free Jacks, make that known. That helps us. That helps us then bring in more people. Come to Widowmaker. These are the things that actually help continue to provide the glue around things that make all of this work. So appreciate that.
Inviting sponsorships. How about any kind of volunteerism? What's the matter?
There are 1,000 things that we need help with, always. We are a very lean staff, even on the rugby side, on the front office side. We've had members build cabinets. We've had, all of that is really important. Also, we have to keep in mind a lot of those things based on insurance regulations and everything else. There's only certain things we can do with volunteers. Educating others on how the game works and why we buy somebody who shows up in a Chicago jersey a beer, we make them feel comfortable. That is the thing. So appreciate the question. Yeah. Keep doing what you're doing. That's awesome.
So we have time for just a couple more, and then plenty of time. There we go.
Just there's been a couple of comments the league side about new TV content.
About what?
A new broadcast content, perhaps. I don't know if there's any.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to share right now, but know that kind of at the heart of our success eventually comes through media, right? And that's a really important piece. So the league controls our media rights, and there's some exciting news coming up. And it's not going to be the panacea, but it'll continue to move us forward into the non-rugby sporting consciousness is what we're trying to do. Reach is really important.
But that's up for the league.
What's that?
That's up for the league from the.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we've got great partners here locally with NBC Sports Boston. They're super excited to continue that relationship. There are others who want to have that relationship, which is awesome. And that's because people watch, and it's a good product.
It's a great product.
Yes.
Been some conversations online about players and members and midweek games, and time needed to recover. It's been raised by the Players Association. Apparently some medical history to support that. Can you address that? We love you all, but we want to make sure that everybody's safe.
Yeah, great question. I think the thing at the heart of it really is communication between the league, the individual teams, and the players. I know, speaking about our organisation, when we found out about the midweek game, it became really important to us to make sure we were looking after our players' well-being. So what we did is we distanced the game after the midweek game as far as possible, so our players will essentially get a second bye week, which isn't going to be the case for all teams. So obviously, player well-being is paramount. I don't think the midweek game is unheard of across the world and the landscape of world rugby. The Storm Week and the NPC, New Zealand's national provincial competition, is super common, and it's a really challenging hurdle. But I think for us, we kind of see that game, and we're pretty excited by that midweek opportunity to, potentially show some new faces and rotate our group a little bit and get really cunning, and I'm sure most teams will be the same. But to your point, I think it's obviously a really important ongoing conversation between the league, the burgeoning players union, and there's some work to do there clearly. But in the meantime, until that's established, we'll do our best at a team level to look after our players.
Down the back.
I've got two questions. One, if we want to be big away game fans, is there a good way to coordinate for a good away game we can all represent?
Where's Kenny Thompson? This could be one for him. There we go. Kenny Thompson. Kenny, you can absolutely answer this. You are the king of away trips, so here you go.
Yeah, for away trips, sign up to the First Regiment on Facebook page. We post everything that we're doing for away trips. We post meet-up points at the away games. We don't do travel advice because that's up to you, but we give meet-up points and tickets and what sections we're trying to get tickets in. We want to get more people to away games. That's where we as fans can make the biggest impact for these guys when they're on the road, supporting them on the road. We can do a ton of shit at away games with very small numbers. We're very loud and very vocal.
Yeah, I can absolutely answer this one. I'll just take this one. That's good. Funnily enough, we're the only MLR team currently that has a U18 and U23 girls and women's program, which we're super proud of. So that's a big thing. Yeah, that's good. Our U23s actually just took out the collegiate division at the New York Sevens. We won the USA All-Stars this year. So we're really doing a lot to support the academy level women's and girls rugby. Under that, we've got fantastic relationships with Beantown and Boston Women's Rugby. They've been coming in and using our facility in the off-season. We help facilitate coaching and training space for them as well. As we know, WER, Women's Elite Rugby, is coming to Boston, which is super exciting. Let's give that a round of applause. And I know Mags and Griffin, our ticketing director, is in close consultation with the Boston-based team around how we can best support their ventures. And I know the Free Jacks will be getting in behind them. And it's fantastic to see, obviously, the stars like Alona Ma really putting women's rugby on the map here in America. We went to her high school this year. Me and Wayne did a session there at Burlington High School. And it's just crazy how the word spread about rugby. So we're doing a lot. There's still a lot of work to do. I think women's collegiate rugby here in Massachusetts and New England is super strong. We've got Harvard. I know Skylar's here from Harvard. Do you want to stand up, Skylar? We'll embarrass you. Yeah. National champion. Good. We've got Annalise here, our Junior Jacks girls captain. Stand up, Annalise, right now, please. Thank you. There we go. Sit up. lots of great things happening, but yeah, Rome wasn't built in a day. We're going to keep working on it and get this thing big and strong. We're excited. Spider, I've been waiting for this one.
Everybody's nervous.
Who is the snake master of the club? Who has the sneakiest paws?
I think, Wayne, did you say you wanted to take this one? I don't know if Wayne's too nice of a guy to put someone in the team. Jeez, TK, it's this one for you. We can't put it on Rhino. Yeah, we'll put it to TK, the GM.
He won't mind me saying, but Andrew Quattrin's socks are pretty bad. Yeah, Megs is saying that's why he runs the annual sock drive. So make sure you bring your socks along for round 1. St. Paddy's, bring your socks for Andrew Quattrin. He needs some new ones.
Perfect. Nope.
Max, you're notorious for liking alternative music. Sorry. Anything lined up this year we should be excited about?
I think there's going to be some really fun jammy bands and GB bands, kind of generally just awesome bands. There's nothing lined up in terms of a couple years ago when we brought in a bunch of national touring acts. And I think we looked at our model and it had a marginal effect on attendance. It provided a great experience and it educated on us that what are we actually providing, and that's the experience. It doesn't mean in the future we won't change that, but for that investment, the ROI, I think we'd rather spend that on the players and a few other things. We'll continue to bring in awesome local bands and a few kind of national touring acts here and there where we can. And we're really excited. There's some thematic ones here that are cool and be a bit different in some spaces.
More cowbell.
More cowbell.
Great country music. I have one question, Wheels, and then I have a comment. So the question is, what did you do to get San Diego to turn up at Quincy and actually come to the matches and play a real game of rugby?
I think it was you guys giving the league so much grief online that actually made the difference, which is amazing. I think it's also just good business. They need to be here. They haven't been here. It hasn't worked out schedule. Every year, I don't envy the schedulers at the league. There's so many inputs and so many things changing. There's very few teams that can control their venue. The league works really hard to try to make it work for everybody, to maximize the experience, and inevitably things like that happen. And it's not clean, and we're really excited to have them here. It's going to be an awesome weekend.
And soft bodies don't like the cold.
Which will be entertaining. The comment is,
Early April.
I think if Wayne was wearing an international jersey when he scored that amazing try, chipping over the guy, it would be replayed on every single television channel for the rest of the time. And finally, thank you for making our dreams come true. You guys rock.
Love you.
Has anyone got a question for Coach Martin down there on the end? Has anyone got a question for Coach Martin? Oh, there we go.
Any thoughts on lineouts, Coach?
Very good question. We've got a fantastic forwards coach coming in, Deval Senegal, and he's with Benetton at the moment. So he's going to be coaching right through to a week before Christmas and come over here. And I've had a lot of good forwards coaches in the professional realm, but this guy is probably the best I've seen. He's got amazing ideas. He's super passionate. He's already working hard with our players. So I think it's going to be a real strength of our game this year is around our set piece. And it was an area that I wanted to just hit coming in from afar, knowing that that's going to really shore us up and allow us to play a style that's really attractive, but also I think it's important to understand that we want to play a style that everyone's kind of really proud of. So for me, it's coming away from a rugby game and the experience of looking out on the field and knowing that that player kind of gave back as much as they potentially could have. And I think that's when you get really proud of your players, when you know that there's nothing left in the tank, and I'm dragging them off as a coach after the game, maybe in a wheelchair for Vian Conradi, guys like that. But I think we're going to be really strong around that stuff this year. And TK's done a fantastic job of putting a group together in the management crew. We're massive on recruiting for character, and that's in our player group and also our management group. So we'd be upset if we're recruiting the opposite way like some of the other teams. So no, we can assure you that that's going to be an area of strength.
When's construction start for the new banner holder for all the championship banners?
I think we've got a little more room on the media tower, and then it's a good problem to have. Good problem to have. We had a meeting with the city today. I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay, brilliant. Well, fantastic. Let's thank our awesome panel tonight, ladies and gentlemen. They've done a great job. And another massive thank you to Widowmaker Brewing. Thanks for having us, team. If you haven't had the Blue Comet yet, have one of those. Not to